What's going on, y'all? Where should artists start when it comes to building their team? Everyone's always talking about you have to have a team. It takes a village to build an artist, right? To develop an artist and to launch an artist career. Well, traditionally, you would start maybe with a manager, with an attorney, and then eventually maybe try to get a record deal, try to get a booking agent, right? That's the traditional route. But we're in a new music business. Times have changed. And during times of COVID, things have really changed. There's so much you can do to really take your career in your own hands and make a giant difference. So here's a quick clip from my podcast interview with Kohrey from Brandman Network. He's also known as Kohrey DaSavior on social media. But in this clip, we kind of talk a little bit about the traditional team, and then I present a graphic of a new music business team, right? In today's world, what an artist team can really look like, and maybe what it should look like. And where do you start? Who do you bring on to your team first? So this is what we talk about in this clip with the amazing Kohrey DaSavior. As always, please take a quick second, subscribe to the channel. We're starting to post a lot of good content on here. Every Tuesday, we have our show deals where we break down different types of deals, and every Thursday, a new podcast episode, the flagship of the Making Academy.
Live the life you love.
And you see that. So it's like the traditional artist team, right? So like a lot of artists, you have this really cool video on your Instagram of either hiring or developing your team, which is what I want you to talk about in a second. But the traditional artist team, like, people try to find a manager, an attorney, booking agent, label, and so on, right? But I don't think that's the way the music industry works anymore these days. There's many other ways. So I kind of created this bubble, the DIY team, where you focus on maybe getting coaches or marketing agencies, getting someone to handle label services. Like there's an artist named Love that is completely independent, and he has a person on his team that he hired that she just handles anything that a label would normally handle as far as distribution and promotion goes. I guess, what are your kind of thoughts on where artists should start? Kind of explain that concept of maybe hiring your team or developing your team. And when someone's like ready to go beyond just being a one-man show, where should they start building their team?
100% content team, because the content team is going to be the content is like 60% of the game today. So like if you don't start there, you know what I'm saying, then you're not even really competing at even like a lower level, because you need content to start spreading stuff out. So I think that, of course, every artist is different, but I think that starting with someone who can produce high quality visuals for you in the form of cover art, graphics, banners for your socials and stuff like that, that person and the video guy, like someone that understands like video composition, editing, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, all that stuff, like someone that's good at that. I think starting there, outside of like your artistic teams, like your engineers or whoever does that for you, what I'm saying? I think content team first. And then I think everything from there is just very situational. So I know artists who their team is their manager, like us, and like a publishing company they're signed to. And then there are other artists, like their team is like their label, you know what I'm saying? The other artists, their team is like they have just an agent, you know what I'm saying? Like this, like, but it makes sense for whatever strategy they have for themselves, and like it's been working for them. But I think that every artist needs to start with the content team, because
absolutely,
like, that dictates, like, nobody cares about your lawyer, like, or at least fans don't. You know what I'm saying? Fans don't care who your lawyer is. Fans don't care what publishing company you're signed to. Fans don't care who your booking agent is. Fans care, do I like what you're producing and putting in front of me on these social media platforms?
Exactly.
And all of that work comes back to you and your content team. You know what I'm saying? So I think that every artist should really sit down with, and I would say hopefully it's one of the visual people on your team, but also someone that understands like branding and aesthetics, because some people just aren't good at it, like, making sure their look looks a certain way of the video. So like, I don't think there's anything wrong with needing help with that. And then I would say from there, next step, it's probably a marketing team, to be real. Either your next step from the content team needs to be getting someone that understands marketing, or you yourself learning marketing, or getting someone around you to learn marketing. Because I don't even necessarily, I tell some of our clients all the time, like, yo, we have to build you up to the point where if you can't afford to hire us anymore, you at least have a good understanding of what to do to keep doing. So like, our work wasn't wasted and your money wasn't wasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, because momentum is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Momentum is a very real thing. Like, you kill off momentum, they can fuck up everything. But like,
Exactly.
if I get it when artists are like, yo, you know, a lot of these marketing companies are scams, and the really good ones charge a lot. And it's like, yeah, but a lot of the stuff that we talk about isn't hard. Like running a Facebook ad isn't hard. You know what I'm saying? It's tedious, but it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? Or even like reaching out to influencers isn't complicated. It's tedious again. It can be annoying, just like reaching out to anybody, but it's not hard, you know. So even if it's not you, somebody around you needs to understand it. Somebody around you needs to understand, like, building into niches, how to understand like analytics and demographics, and like how to convert numbers into like ideas and thought processes. You know, like somebody needs to understand those things. I think that those two things alone, the content team and the marketing people, whoever understands you, like I think that's enough to get started. And then everything from there is just very, you know, situational. Like, do you need a lawyer are you about to sign something? Then yeah, of course, go get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, please go get a lawyer. You know, like if you the booking agent one is interesting. I think that going back to our conversation around the traditional, like the non-traditional spaces, I don't think you necessarily super need a booking agent out the gate. Maybe once you've reached a certain point where maybe trying to get on like bigger festivals or bigger shows, and even then, those don't make sense for you until you're at a certain fan base level anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think just having someone that has the patience and the organizational skills to like do that, help you plan that stuff up, is a good look too. Once you have a base, but you're just ground zero, like nothing. Content team, marketing people all day.
Yep, I completely agree with that. Couldn't agree more. It's interesting with the agents too, because you know most artists want to get an agent so they can book shows, but you can do it on your own. You can probably book cooler shows in the beginning and promote them better. Like an agent, like anyone you add to your team is because you're expanding your business and you kind of are taking more of a CEO role and need other people to handle other parts of your business. So if you're playing enough shows, then an agent can make sense as long as they can bring you to the next level. They can put you on those festivals or in a support slot with someone on a national tour. But other than that, you can do so much more damage on your own with a content team and marketing team.